Hi everyone, it's Tormuse, picking up again where we left off in the Doki Doki Literature Club mod, Fallen Angel. Um, yeah, so last episode there was, let's see, there was a very over-the-top argument between Monica and Yuri, and then there was a very dramatic talk about Sayori's depression, which ended in Sayori kicking MC out. Um, so that can't be good. Um, and no word if they reconciled things. I mean, like MC and Sari, and we haven't heard of anything from Natsuki either, except she, is having trouble with her home. Or no, she we established that she like doesn't have any money, like lunch money and so on. Um, no word about like how bad her home life is really. um, Yeah, and apparently the literature club's disbanded, and we just turned into a slice of life thing featuring Yuri. Let's see where this goes. Here we go. I wake in my own bed today. In my own bed today. Oh yeah, and Yuri and MC are apparently sleeping together on a regular basis. But they're just friends, so I'm not quite clear on the nature of their relationship at this point. I mean, you can have sleepovers. I mean, that's a thing you can do. I've had girls over to my place, and purely platonic friendship. I'm just not quite clear on the nature of MC's and Yuri's relationship here, but let's see how it goes. Anyway, Yuri and I didn't read together last night, so she's still at her house. In fact, we haven't talked much this past week. After I told her I'm talking to a doctor. Yuri sees herself as some sort of a freak, and I'm sure taking her to a psychiatrist probably doesn't help that image. Nevertheless, this is important. By the way, side note, there there is there is a big stigma attached to you know seeking professional help, which is unfortunate because it means that people who actually need help are afraid to seek help because they're afraid of what other people will think or whatever, and then people who need help don't get help. And that's not a good thing. Honestly, there's nothing to be ashamed of in seeking psychiatric help or counseling or whatever you need. I mean, I've been seeing it. I've personally been seeing a psychotherapist um, for like weekly for a couple of years now, and it's very helpful. I mean, like even if you don't have you know problems as bad as Yuri, like you know like she's cutting herself up pretty badly. Even if it's not that bad, like it can be helpful to just have a third person who's uninvolved in the situation to talk to. Like someone who's trained to help and someone who's paid to be there and listen to you and be there for your problems and so on. So like, I guess I'm sorry, I'm like rambling now, but I haven't even started the video here yet. It's just something I feel strong about. It's important to look after your mental health. Sometimes that means seeking professional help, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, moving on. I texted Yuri to remind her that after school we're meeting the psychiatrist. She looked outside my window. It's a bit foggy, but that's not going to stop me. Continuing my boring morning routine of showering, brushing my teeth, getting dressed. What to eat, what to eat. I repeatedly open and close different cabinets, lowering my standards with each one. Cereal it is. I grab a bowl and pour myself some cereal. I then open the fridge. No, 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 no. I'm out of milk. This has gotta be the worst day of my life. Speaking of melodrama, maybe I can find a substitute. I look through the shelves of my fridge. I pull out a jug of orange juice. Orange juice and cereal? Okay. I glance at the bowl of dry cereal, then the orange juice, then back at the bowl. Lord, forgive me for I'm about to sin. Okay. Last class of the day, and it's almost over. I stare blankly at the clock, watching the seconds tick away. Teacher says something or other about World War II. I don't need to know history. I have my future all figured out. I'm going to write a song and become a famous musician. I already have the first line down. Gucci Gang. Guess I'll just repeat that line a dozen more times and call it music. The bell rings. Um, I have a feeling I have a feeling that a lot of these jokes are references to things that I'm just not getting because I'm kind of out of touch with popular culture these days. But whatever. Moving on. Pierre's school day is over. I told Yuri I would meet her in front of the school. Take a shortcut through the courtyard so I can meet up with Yuri. My mind is going a mile a minute right now. I have no idea what will happen when I bring Yuri to this doctor. Tormuse! I stop at the sound of my name coming from an alt two with one O. That should be two with two O's. Familiar voice. I turn to see who the person is. Oh no. Hiya, Tormuse. Hey, Monica. Where are you going? Home. Oh, same. Well, if you don't have any plans, then you wouldn't mind walking me home. I stand there dumbfounded. Why would Monica all of a sudden want to walk home together when we haven't even spoken in a month? It's not like we left on good terms either. I'm actually about to go somewhere. You said you were heading home. You wouldn't lie to me, would you, Tormuse? Oh, get off your high horse, Monica. Sorry. No, it's just that I look around for an escape route. In the distance, I see a tall purple figure near the gates of the school. I look back at Monica. Her eyes follow mine, and she also spots the purple figure. I see. Monica, I didn't mean to lie to you. I'm sure you didn't, Tormuse. I'll go ahead and let you walk home. Bye. And Monica trots off. Another thought I break towards the gate. I'm here. There you are. I was getting worried. Sorry if I made you wait. I got caught up trying to take a shortcut. Guess it turned into a long cut, huh? Without an awkward laugh, but Yuri still retains her nervous expression. Perhaps long cut wasn't a very good word choice. I take her hand and hold it softly in mine. Oh yeah, they're holding hands too. You know that also is says something about their relationship. Yuri, look at me. It's gonna be okay, I promise. Yuri slowly nods. Oh. Alright, here it is. I look at the clock above the doorway. Right on time, too. Doctor should be out here any second. As soon as I finish my sentence, though, a man walks out of the office door. He's an older gentleman with black hair that has started to gray. He wears an outfit you'd see in one of those fancy, expensive magazines. Nice dress shoes, pristine three-piece suit and tie, and even a gold watch. Dr. Peter Langton, psychiatrist. It's a pleasure to meet you. He shakes my hand. You must be Tormuse, correct? Yes, sir, and this is Yuri. He holds out his hand to Yuri. Well, this is awkward. After a few seconds, Dr. Langton lowers his hand. That's fine. It's okay to be nervous around a doctor, I know. But I want you to know there's nothing to fear. This is a safe place. He raises his arm as if to display his office. So, how about we step through the door and we begin the session? Alright, let's go. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but for now, I wish only to speak to the young lady here. Well, yeah, that stands to reason. Doctor-patient confidentiality and all that. What? Really? Just for now. Perhaps in later sessions you can join in, but for the first time, it's better to be one-on-one. I decided to argue. Okay, I'll wait here. Thank you for understanding. He turns to Yuri, who hasn't spoken a word since we arrived. Shall we step inside? Doc, you mind if I talk to her in private for a second? Not at all. Take your time. I'll be in the office for whenever you're ready. He steps back into his office and closes the door. What are you thinking right now? I can't do this. Don't say that. Put my hands on her shoulders. Listen to me. You're a strong girl. You can get through this. And I'll be right here waiting the entire time. Dr. Langton only wants to help you. If I need you to cooperate, if not for him or for you, then for me. Yuri stares blankly at me. Okay. I'll do my best. That's all I ask. I give her a hug and she steps into the office. I guess I'll just sit here then. I take a seat and look around. The waiting room is full of motivational posters, pictures, and other stupid stuff. Look at the wall next to me. This certificate goes out to Dr. Peter Langton, blah blah blah, Stanford University, blah blah blah. Seems this guy really knows his stuff. This is perfect. For the first time in a month, I think I can finally relax. Stanford University, eh? I suspect. I don't know. I have a feeling he'd be pretty expensive, but what do I know? Kind of wonder how they afford him. First time in a month, I think I can finally relax. I'm finally getting Yuri the help she needs. What the? Pull out my phone to CIC received. What? I think that's a typo. I pull out my phone to CIC received. Oh dear. Received with an IE instead of EI. A text. I for E except I for C. A text from an unnamed number. An, a you named. Wow, this sentence. What is with this sentence here? Um, unnamed number, I guess. You can't protect her forever. What the hell? This is the same person from a few weeks ago. What could they possibly want? Don't worry. Once she's gone, we won't have to worry about her. What? Yeah, okay, so, I mean, I expressed before in the previous video that um, my first impulse is to think that, okay, maybe the mysterious texter is Monica, but won't have to worry about, I mean, it could be Sayuri too. I mean, if Sayuri's got a thing for MC too. By the way, I noticed that there's almost music playing, and I've got the volume turned down. Maybe I can just. Yeah, I had the volume turned down because I didn't want it to like drown out my voice or anything. But maybe this is worth turning up for a bit. So dramatic. It's not like anyone would care. This has gone too far. I furiously type back a response. Listen, I don't know who you are, but if you don't stop texting this number, you'll have some serious problems. You shouldn't threaten someone when you know you can't back up anything you say, Tori Muse. This person knows my name? Hands are shaking intensely. Who is this? You'll know soon enough. I shut off my phone to prevent any more messages. Who is this person? The only person I can think... What? Who I can think of who has my number is Sayo. Dr. Langton and Yuri walk out of the office. Okay, I'll put the music back down. Pushing aside my thoughts, I stand up to talk to him. Give it to me straight, Doc. Your friend is in good health. I look at him quizzically. Really? Yes, she has a common case of social anxiety. Hey, what about Dr. Patient confidentiality? Okay, maybe Yuri agreed to share that much, but whatever. Let's move on. It's fairly common. Nothing to get too worked over. Okay, maybe too worked up over. And then, in which case this should have been T with two O's. I feel like this section had a different writer or something. I'm noticing there are more. I mean, this has been. I mean, it's been pretty good so far in terms of like typos have been like pretty few and far in between, but I feel like there are more of them lately. Anyway, moving on. Perhaps we can schedule another meeting so I can learn more. So what do we do? There are cases where, with age, the anxiety eventually fades away. There are always therapies and medical professionals such as myself that are willing to help. Simple as that. Simple as that. He gives me a reassuring smile. Thanks, Doc. And what about her, know what? I look over at Yuri, who is standing awkwardly at the door. She didn't tell him about her cutting. Doc, what exactly did you talk about? He can't answer that question. I'm sorry. Okay, there, good. I'm sorry, but that's private information that I'm not allowed to disclose. Patient confidentiality. There you go. There's an annoyed pitch to my voice when I recite that term to him. Of course, if she chooses to confide the information to you, that's her choice. Thanks, Doc. My pleasure. I give him one last handshake and escort Yuri out the building. There's that phrase again. The rest of the walk home is quiet. Neither of us choose to talk to each other. Can't believe I did all this effort to help Yuri and she does this. If she's not comfortable about talking about that in the first session, I mean, it's kind of her business. I mean, okay. It's nice that MC wants to help her, but at some point, on some level, she kind of has to help herself. It kind of has to be up to her how much she talks about. Talking about her cutting habit would probably be really difficult for a first session. I hope he doesn't give her too hard a time about it. She can't even tell someone what's wrong with her. Well, it's a very difficult thing to talk about, MC. You get off your high horse. I need to calm down. It's not her fault. I should have been aware this would happen. I shouldn't have forced her to see a psychiatrist. We walk into the house and Yuri takes a seat on the couch. I stand awkwardly before taking a seat next to her. I have to apologize. Yuri, I'm sorry. She bares her face in her hands and begins to cry. I disappoint you, just like I do with everyone else. I place my arm around her. No, Yuri, I failed you. I should have known better than to force you into something like that. She lifts her head and stares at me. Her lavender eyes are puffy with tears. No, you were right to help me. I, I, I want to go back. Can you schedule another appointment? I would think that Yuri's just as capable of scheduling, but okay. Like maybe she's too shy to schedule it. Taken aback, really? I know this is what's best for me, and if you're by my side, I think I can get through it. I'll always be by your side, Yuri. Take your hand and intertwine it with mine. You're intertwining your hands again. It's a very intimate gesture, MC. Can you do me a favor, Tormes? Of course. I don't know how to go about explaining everything to the doctor. Well, I'm all ears if you need me. Thank you. Yuri takes a moment to collect her thoughts, an action I see her do quite often. Do you know why I do it? I would guess in order to feel some sort of control over your emotions. You're not too far off. Tormes, for all my life, I've allowed people to be the glue, the stitches, and the bandages that hold me together. And every time they've reopened without fail. I was only a small girl when I first witnessed how unforgiving this world can be. My mother and father would argue non-stop. I was scared that one day they may even hurt each other. I used books as a coping mechanism. I would hope that I could drown out my own reality and enter a new one. Eventually my dad left my mother and my mom had to pick up an extra job to support us. Even with all that happening, I just continued to repress my feelings and read my books. That's how I lived my life until... She pauses again to catch her breath and collect her thoughts. High school has been the worst years of my life. Everyone is so cruel and selfish. She stares deeply into my eyes, or that's what I thought, until I met you. But even so, the kids at school would always call me foul names or spread rumors about me. Boys would always pick on me, or stare at me when I walked by, or call me obscene names. She's starting to panic. I can see the fear in her eyes grow with each sentence. Yuri, I think we should stop here for now. No! I need to get this out. Please. Tears continue to glide down her cheeks. I slowly nod and allow her to continue. I didn't know any other way to get rid of the pain inside. There's no such thing as a cure for pain. I had to find a way to release it somehow. I try to understand what she's saying, so I was right. It's a coping mechanism. It was. At first. At first? At first I was really scared, but that moment I first did it, the feeling of the blade splitting into my skin, the cold steel gliding along my arm, the beauty of the crimson streams flowing down my arms, it was exhilarating. What? It no longer became a way to deal with the pain. I had been seduced by it. It almost felt good to cut. I knew it was bad, but I couldn't stop myself. My mind was already lost. I wasn't strong enough to stop the urges. I'd get a feeling in my body I didn't understand, screaming at me to let go of everything I'm feeling. When I do it, it feels like I'm in my own world. It's the same feeling as when I'm reading a book, except the words are written in red, and the blade is my pen. But a book eventually ends. My arm could heal, and I could continue to relive that moment of true freedom continuously. This is worse than I thought. I thought it was just a way for her to cope with life, but now I see it's more of some type of drug. She's formed an addiction to it. Yuri, this is a lot to take in, but I just want to say, I don't blame you. What? None of what happened is your fault. I wrap her hand in mine. We can't control what happens in our lives, and sometimes we can't control how we feel. Sometimes it feels as if there's a force stronger than us, pulling us and tempting us to do horrid things, like pups attached to strings. I'll never understand what goes on inside your head, and I... No! Not okay with it. Sorry. I was kind of expecting MC was going somewhere in the direction of, but this isn't healthy and you need to find a way to stop, or, you know, blah blah blah, damage control, something. Sorry. you can be you can be understanding. That's fine. You can be sympathetic, empathetic. That's fine. But it's still a, you know, not only I was going to say a non-constructive coping mechanism. Uh, it's really destructive coping mechanism. It's like it is not a healthy coping mechanism. There are alternatives to cutting oneself. I mean, a lot of people, it might seem like an obvious thing to say, but seriously, um, um, there are other things you do, like drawing. Like I've heard of people drawing on their arms just to simulate the that stimulus of the something against your skin, for instance, um, and it washes off. It's obviously less destructive than cutting oneself. Like, I mean, there are all kinds of just cognitive behavioral therapy. There's all kinds of things. There's like mindfulness training. There, there's there are a lot of better coping mechanisms than cutting oneself, to deal with um, whether it's stress of the day or just generally an addiction to the endorphin rush from the pain. Um, I'm sorry. I'm not fond of this line here. I hope he's going somewhere with this, and somewhere in the direction of let's get find some way to stop. anyway, because I still stand by my promise to never leave you. Together we can solve your problem. Another thought crossed my mind. Yuri, where do you get your knives? If you're referring to what I used to cut, I have a knife collection. Oh, has it never been brought up before? I guess not. A knife collection? I've been hiding it whenever you came over, because I thought you would get mad and find it unlikable. In the other case, I would think a knife collection is cool, but for Yuri's sake, it's not good to have. Yuri, I'm sorry, but you have to get rid of your knives. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's a more constructive step. I mean, it's a difficult and painful thing to do, but, keep away the temptation. Anyway, but, she thinks it over for a while. You're right. I know it only adds to the temptation, but it's so hard. I know it is, but trust me, if you really want to get better, the best thing to do is throw away any temptation. Well, hang on. Okay. No, it was a typo. Temptation. There's a missing T in temptation there. Sorry. Promise me you'll throw out your knife collection. Tears continue to pour. She's cried so much I'd have thought her tear ducts would be drained by now. She slams her head onto my chest and continues to cry. I wrap my arms around her. It's all right, Yuri. I promise to never let anyone hurt you again. You said that before. Tormes, you've heard my story. You see now that I'm just a monster. I'm weak and can't control my emotions. I take all my pent-up feelings and release them onto my own skin. How can anyone think that's okay? No one can. Huh? She looks up at me. But you just said it's okay. Anyway, that was that line that I just objected to when you said it was okay. I'm okay with that. You said it. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. She looks up at me, her soft eyes lock onto mine. Because it's not okay. Because it's also not okay for me to sit idly by and let you continue to hurt yourself. That's why I'm not going to stop until you're better. But why? Because, Yuri. Uh-oh. Is he gonna drop the L word now, finally? Everything around me becomes blurry. The only thing I see is her. Because... Even though it isn't an actual choice, I'm gonna save it anyway. I love you. Because I love you, Yuri. I said it. Said the word I would never believe would leave my mouth. Love. What an alien word to me. But it's the only word I can think of in this moment. I feel as if everything that's happened this past month has been let out. I love you more than anything else in the world. And when you love someone, you don't give up. Tormes, I love you too. Yuri wraps her arms around me and leans closer. Thank you. You can thank me once that collection is thrown away. I give her a quick smile, but she closes her eyes and continues to lean in. Ah! I feel her lips press against mine. All my senses are immediately overwhelmed. The taste of vanilla on her lips, the faint scent of lavender in her hair, a sound of true ecstasy as my heart beats out of my chest. I feel like I should save it again. Just for the CG. Her arms around me and mine around her. Everything else in the world has been drowned out. Every single thought that had stormed my mind has been calmed. It's just Yuri and me in this single moment in time. There's an odd feeling in my stomach. Perhaps it's butterflies? Can't describe it other than that it's somewhat comforting. Like all my worries have been washed away. Yuri pulls away. What felt like eternity was only a few seconds, but the feeling continues to stay. We sit in silence for a moment. I guess it's my turn to thank you. You can thank me after you schedule my next appointment with Dr. Langton. She throws me a soft smile, and for a moment I feel like everything will be alright. A few days later. I rub my eyes awake. Ugh. I look over to my left to see Yuri sleeping. In her turtleneck, apparently. We've been continuing our dates, reading at each other's houses. I unplug my phone from the charger and check the time. Oh my god, Yuri, wake up! Grab her shoulder and lightly shake her. Huh? Oh no, did I sleep in? I need to put on my teeth, brush my pants. So Yuri starts to furiously get out of bed. No, Yuri, we still have a lot of time. She calms down a bit. Then why did you sound like something urgent happened? Because, I show her the calendar on my phone. Today's the last day of school. During the holiday season, we get a couple weeks off from school. A bashful smile appears on her face. That's fantastic. Come on, you can get dressed in the spare bedroom. I finished my routine a lot earlier than Yuri, so I decided to start making breakfast. Seriously, what is it? Here's that line again. What is it with girls taking forever to get ready? What to make? I open the fridge and grab an unopened pack of bacon strips. Nice. Hopefully I have eggs as well. Bingo! I grab the egg carton and open it up. There's still about a half a dozen eggs left. That's more than enough. Start the stove, begin cracking the eggs. Yuri walks into the kitchen. That smells very pleasant, Tormuse. Sounds like you're in a good mood. Of course, no school is a dream for me. Oh, really? I have more time to read, learn new things, and I don't have to worry about human interaction. I noticeably pause. Yuri doesn't notice, and I continue cooking. Are you saying you're not going to spend time with me over the break? I didn't mean... You keep falling for my sarcasm, Yuri. I figured a smart girl like you would catch on. You would think. What was that? Are the eggs ready yet? I look down to see my breakfast burning. Oh, I quickly snatch the spatula and scoop the eggs and bacon onto plates. I bring the plates to the counter and take a seat. Yuri, you've been served. Ooh, thank you, Tormuse. Perhaps I should try to start a conversation. Do you have any plans for the break, Yuri, besides reading? Well, not really. Well, you're always welcome to spend time with me. Are you sure? I mean, we've already spent the past month together without school. We can have even more time. Well, I would really like that. She gives me a soft smile. I check the time. Oh, we should probably start heading out now. We don't want to be late for the last day. I grab our plates and put them in the sink. Yuri and I head outside and start the walk to school. We arrive at the courtyard. First classes are at different sides of the school. We say our goodbyes and head off to our respective classrooms. Class is still boring as ever. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, I'm gonna move on. It's been a while since I've done any quadratic equations. Yeah, I'm never going to use that in my entire life. So long, math. School bell snaps me out of my daze. Time to go walk Yuri home. I sling my backpack over my shoulder and head for the door. Oof! I accidentally bump into someone. Atsuki! Hey! I haven't seen her in a while. This is awkward. Hey, is for horses. Can you be serious for once? Alright, sorry. So I take it went well with Yuri? Sorry. I, I take it went, I think maybe she's supposed to say, it went well with Yuri? But anyway, makes you say that. I saw you two in the courtyard. Oh, yeah, it went well. Good. I don't know if Natsuki knows about Yuri's cutting, so I refrain from mentioning it. How did it go with you? Went home and went to bed. This conversation is going nowhere. Natsuki, wait. I want to talk about that day. I don't like where this is going. I may have accidentally given you too much information about my home life. Natsuki, it's fine. I understand if your parents are going through some financial problems. Parent. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. Look, just shut up and let me get this off my chest. I just need to vent to someone. And why me? Because you're the only person dumb enough to listen. Fair enough. Alright, continue then. As I was saying, this next part pertains to you. Uh-oh. A lot of people see my dad as some abusive monster, but he's not. He just struggles with saving money. He has bursts of anger, but he tries hard to maintain himself. He's been taking medication to keep himself stable, but even those cost money. I get the feeling that that line about everyone thinks he's an abusive asshole is a bit of meta commentary about the community. Everyone assuming that he's abusive. I sort of did a play on that in my own mod, the True Literature Club. Anyway, moving on. Even those cost money. So we decided it's best if I don't live with him. What I'm hearing breaks my heart. It must be hard to have to part with someone you've known all your life. Wait, Natsuki, how does this pertain to me? You want to stay at my house? Natsuki composed herself. I knew you were a stalker. I rolled my eyes at her. Natsuki switches back to her serious mode again after a quick remark. Well, I was wondering if you could ask Sayuri if I could live with her. Because Sayuki confirmed. Sorry. Considering the last time I talked to Sayuri, I don't think I could do that. Was that conversation at her place, was that really the last time you talked to Sayuri? Come on, MC. I don't know. You're neighbors, aren't you? Can't you just drop by your house on your way home? I think to myself, on one hand, Sayuri never wants to see me again. Did she really say that? Refresh my memory, did she actually say she doesn't want to see him again? That's kind of drastic. Anyway. On the other hand, I don't want Natsuki to be homeless. But on my third hand, I wanted to walk Yuri home. On the fourth hand, it'd be morally wrong for me to let Natsuki be homeless. I have to do what's right. Alright, I'll ask. Thanks. Guess the conversation's over. Well, I'll go do that now. Yeah. I walk out the classroom. There's again. Once I turn the corner, I make a mad dash for the gates. Hope I'm not late. I arrive at the gate, but there's no sign of Yuri. Pull up my phone to call her, but it appears she's already sent me a text. I tried to wait, but I need to get home early. I'm very sorry. I'll see you tomorrow. Damn it. Me against the bricks that make up the campus walls. Okay, that feels a little ominous. Has she gotten rid of her knife collection yet? I mean, if we haven't confirmed that and she's anxious to get home by herself early, that's could be cause for concern. But moving on. I lean against the bricks that make up the campus walls. I'm disappointed I couldn't see Yuri today. Oh well, at least I'll see her tomorrow. Making my lonely trek home. I think to myself to keep my sadness away. I don't know that song. My shadow is the only one that walks beside me. I stop in front of Sayuri's house. Here goes nothing. Attempt to take a step, but my feet are pinned to the ground. Frozen on the sidewalk. Come on, I can do this. I forcefully move my legs to the door. Each step feels like I'm trudging through a snowstorm. I make my way to the door. After 3 hard knocks, Sayuri opens the door. Hey. Sayuri looks bothered. Sayuri, I... Don't say anything. Please just don't say anything. I don't understand why this is happening. Why me? Sayuri, I'm sorry I came, but I need to talk to you. You shouldn't be sorry. It's not your fault I'm like this. I was selfish. I'm just so selfish. I'm sorry, Teresa. I can't do this. She goes to slam the door. The door swings forward before I can think of anything. I instinctively place my hand in the doorway. Uh-oh. Sayuri's door crushes into my fingers. Tormuse! I My fingers begin to throb, but what's important is that I prevent Sayuri from shutting me out. I'm so sorry. Sayuri looks like she's about to cry. Sorry, just listen to me. I need to tell Sayuri everything about my encounter with Natsuki, about Natsuki's situation with her dad and her needing a place to live. I have trouble seeing her in the eyes as I speak. It doesn't look like she's even listening at all. She may have tuned me out, but eventually she speaks up. Okay. Okay, that's it? Natsuki deserves a place where she can feel safe. Tell her she can live with me. My heart becomes a little lighter. Thank you so much. I'll tell her as soon as I can. Sayuri doesn't say another word. For a moment, she just stands there staring at me. Blue eyes glisten, and she slowly closes the door. And once again, I'm left alone. I guess I might as well catch up on some TV shows before bed. Hopefully put some ice on your fingers. That sounds like it hurt. Anyway, the hours went by quickly. The moonlight from my window tells me it's already nighttime. I feel bad for not getting to see Yuri today, but hopefully I can make it up to her tomorrow. I am glad that I was able to help out Natsuki, however. I still feel sick after the look Sayuri gave me, but maybe this is a good thing. Maybe Natsuki can help Sayuri with her depression, something that I failed to do. I groggily head upstairs and go to sleep. I waken in the sanctity of my blankets. First day of break, when every student doesn't have a care in the world. I take a moment to just stare at my ceiling, the morning glow peeking through my blinds. I can't help but have a smile on my face. The strong feeling today will be a good day. Sure about that, MC? Hopefully I'm right. After enjoying the feeling of naturally waking up, I climb out of bed, do my morning stretches, and head to the bathroom. As I'm eating breakfast, I decide to call Yuri. Answer. Hello? Good morning, Yuri. Good morning, Tormuse. Despite still being fairly early, Yuri's voice shows no sign of tiredness. She must be a morning person. Sounds like you slept well. That I did. Yuri pauses just long enough for me to speak up. Hey, I'm sorry about yesterday. I got caught up in something after class. I swear I tried to get out, but it's Tormuse, it's okay. I'm sure you had good reason. Plus, I could never be mad at you. I begin to blush. Well, in that case, I wanted to ask you something. Okay, ask away. Well, I thought that we could what? I feel Yuri knows what I'm going to ask her, but rather than sparing me from my fears, she just decides to tease the question instead. That you could come over today? Perhaps we can watch a movie or something? There's a moment of silence as Yuri ponders the question. I'd love to. Really? Of course. I'll be there in about an hour, if that's okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'll see you then. Bye-bye, Tormuse. Bye. Hang up the phone. I pump my fist in excitement before realizing, what are we going to do? You just said watch a movie. What? Told you could watch a movie. I had to get my head out of my ass. It's just two friends of opposite genders alone in a house. Damn it. Alright, I need to calm down. MC, haven't we established that you've spent the month, like, sleeping over in each other's beds? Why is this... Why is the prospect of watching a movie, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Alright, I need to calm down. Yuri and I have spent a lot of time together. We shared a kiss. Hell, we even slept in the same bed. It was a very big bed, though. But the same bed, nonetheless. So why do I feel so different? It feels as if our relationship has grown in some way. I no longer see Yuri as the girl she presents herself as. To me, she's no longer that shy girl who steers away from anyone who talks to her. She's just a normal girl. Sure, she still needs help, and we still need to get rid of her knife collection. Okay, so yeah, so we have established that she has not yet gotten rid of her knife collection. Just as I thought. So yeah, like her leaving early and insisting on getting home by herself was a little worrying. Okay, moving on. But my mind relaxes. I feel that I've actually made progress. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? I set up some small snacks and glasses for us so we can watch the movie. Yuri should be arriving any second. Snacks, check. Deodorant, check. Clean clothes, check. Movie, uh-oh. I haven't picked a movie yet. Well, pick one when she gets here. No harm done. What am I gonna... Uh-oh. I get up to answer the door. I open the door. I put on my most inviting smile. Hey. Hello, Tormuse. I just preferred to come inside. Thanks for inviting me, Tormuse. wave my hand in front of my face. Don't worry about it. Hmm? Sorry, what? I wave my hand in front of my face? I don't get it. Is that reference to something again? Don't worry about it. It's the least I could do for not walking home yesterday. What a gentleman. I begin to blush as my face grows hot. I swear I turn my AC on. It's winter. He shouldn't have the AC on. I mean, apparently it's winter. I suppose chivalry isn't dead after all. I just prefer to take a seat on the couch as I walk over to the TV stand. Oh, Tormies, you didn't tell me what we were going to watch. And she used the word gonna again. And there's the question that drives the nail in the coffin. I'm sorry, what was that? Oh, I just said that it'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise for both of us. Yuri likes horror, maybe I should do that. Or maybe action, who doesn't love superhero movies? Or maybe romance. Don't be dumb, Tormies, that only works in movies and games. Well... No comment. What about a comedy? I'll be able to see Yuri laugh. Or maybe that one movie where everything was a dream. Titanic. What? Okay. Is everything okay? Yeah? Is something wrong? At this point I'm starting to sweat. What do I do? You could ask her what she wants to watch. Like, that's a thing you could do. But whatever. Aha! Light bulb! What was that? I turn and look at her. Ah, you have to guess what movie we're watching. And then he's gonna say, good guess, right? I'm not good at guessing. Give it your best shot. Yuri thinks for a moment. Got her right where I want her. Well, I've been really wanting to see the movie Misery. There's a movie about the state of Missouri? I read the novel, and I have been wanting to compare it to the movie. Oh, Misery, by that King dude. Yuri gives me a look of disappointment. Why am I like this? I turn back to the TV stand. Please have Misery, please have Misery, please have Misery. I look in the back where I store the movies my parents used to own. What about Netflix? Anyway, all of a sudden I spot, or similar to streaming service. All of a sudden I spot it. You're a good guesser, Yuri. Huh? I turn around and present the case to her. Her lavender eyes brighten up and reflect the sunlight seeping from the window. How? She sounds baffled, as if she can't believe she guessed right. Truth is, whatever movie she guessed was going to be the one that I picked. And of course luck was involved with whether or not I had the movie on hand. It's what I like to call the one step ahead trick. I pop the disc in the tray and play it. Meanwhile, I think it's supposed to say meanwhile with an N. Yuri gathers the hors d'oeuvres on the coffee table. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to hors d'oeuvre. It's French. Hold on, I have to pause the recording for a second. Yeah, just as I suspected, it's hors d'oeuvre because it's French. It's the R and the V should be inverted. I mean, it's commonly it gets anglicized to hors d'oeuvres, but it's hors d'oeuvre in French. Anyway, sorry. I'm Canadian, so I know a bit of French. Moving on. Gather the hors d'oeuvre on the coffee table. Wait, am I supposed to sit on the couch with Yuri or sit on the other? You used the L word. Come on, you can sit together. Get it together, MC. This is a date, correct? I guess I didn't say, but it was heavily implied. You've already dropped the L word, like... And you've kissed. Like... I said early on, it's good to establish boundaries, but these are some confusing boundaries. Am I overthinking this? Tormies, step out of my thoughts and turn to her. And also, you could just ask her if she's comfortable with it. That's also an option. Okay? I mean, maybe that's an awkward thing to do, but if you're that unsure of it, communication is always a good thing. Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. I walk to the couch Yuri's sitting on. Is this seat taken? Yuri smiles cutely. For you? Not at all. I plop down next to her. Partway through the movie, and Yuri and I have already consumed all the snacks I laid. This movie's pretty good, but I'm having a hard time focusing with Yuri in my view. Why watch a movie about a writer with broken legs when instead I can just stare at Yuri all day? She turns to me slightly. In the book, she cut off his foot. Huh? Oh, I was just pointing out the difference between the novel and the movie. Oh, that came out a bit more unenthusiastically than I wished. This isn't boring for you, is it, Tormies? What? No, I'm really enjoying the movie so far. Yuri grabs the remote and lowers the volume a bit. Then, what's the main character's name? What? The main character. What's his name? Alright, I know this. Think, Tormies. I'm not familiar with the book or the movie. Paul and Thomas are both common names. I have no idea. It's gonna be like a random guess here. I'm gonna go with Paul. Brain blast. Paul Sheldon. Yuri looks shocked. I, I'm sorry I doubted you. No problem, Yuri. We both turn back to the screen. Is now my chance? She's distracted. I should make my move. Would it be weird if I did? Or it'd be weird if I didn't? I mean, we kissed. What's an arm wrap compared to that? I think an arm wrap is indicated here. I think that would be okay. I maneuver my arm ever so slowly, as if it were moving through molasses. I gently place my hand over Yuri's shoulder. She does a double take at my arm, then looks at me. Not a single word is spoken. She simply smiles and leans into me. Her head lays softly on my shoulder. I can't help but feel the corners of my mouth raise as well. We continue to finish the movie in comforting silence. Aw. The credits roll. Yuri moves off my arm, which has now fallen asleep. What did you think? It was good. A well thought out and suspenseful story. Glad I picked it. As am I. Either she didn't catch my ploy or she doesn't want to embarrass me. Although I couldn't help but notice all the differences from the book. Like what? After saying that, I instantly regret those lines. Well, to start, Yuri goes off on an incomprehensible tangent about the movie. I try following along, but I can't quite understand what she's saying. Too busy staring at the way her eyes reflect the orange sun peeking through the window. Right, Tormuse? Uh-oh. Yeah? I completely agree. Yuri stares at me as if I'm one of her books. I'm glad you see it my way. I silently exhale. Thank God you didn't pry that question any further. I suppose I should be going home now. If I wait any longer, I'll have to walk in the dark. That's the safest time, Yuri? Isn't that backwards? Huh? Yuri gives me a confused glance, because at night, if you get into danger, you can shine a light in the sky and call for Batman. You can't do that during the day. Yuri tries to hold in her laughter, but eventually gives in. I'm serious, Travis, I have to go. You can't stay the night? Oh? I don't even have a change of clothes. But I stopped myself before saying who said we're going to need clothes. I understand. Yuri stands up. Thank you for today, Tormuse. This was a lovely evening. Yuri bends down and places a light kiss on my cheek. She quickly turns and leaves as I notice her cheeks turning bright red. I'm left sitting on the couch with a stupidly large grin on my face. If you told me a year ago I would have a relationship like this, I would have filled out papers to be taken to the mental asylum. But now I've changed. I feel a lot more confident. I can take on anything the world throws at me. Guess we'll just have to see where fate takes us. And I guess that's the end of another day. The first two videos had like 3 in-game days each. I was thinking of ending it on the end of the third day here, but let's take us up to an hour like the others, so I'll continue going on. I open my eyes as the sun casts its light on my face. Ugh. Sunlight creates a soft glow. Usually that means there's heavy clouds looming over. Most likely get some showers later today. I grab my phone and look at the time. Holy crap, I'm going to be late. Jumping out of bed, I begin to start my daily routine. Sorry, wait. Late for what? They don't have school right now, right? Today is Yuri's second appointment with Dr. Langton. He was excited to continue working with Yuri and believes that he can really help her. I wonder what he'll say when she tells him about her cuts. Yuri promised me she'd open up about them today. I'll do my best to support her. I continue my trek into the kitchen. Pulling out my phone, I check the time. Don't have a lot of time left. Swipe a cereal bar and then swing open my fridge. Luckily, I remembered to buy milk this time. Milk with the cereal bar? Pour the milk into the bowl and drop the cereal bar inside. The cereal bar has a name. Why isn't this working? All of a sudden, realization hits me. Oh, I fished a soggy cereal bar out of the bowl. One day, I'm going to have a proper breakfast. Pull out my phone once again and text Yuri. Oh, on my way. OMW. Almost immediately, Yuri responds. Okay, I'll be waiting. I'm not sure why Yuri feels it's necessary to type so formally, but I suppose it's a bit cute. Finish my sore excuse for a meal and head out the door towards Yuri's house. Walk up and ring the doorbell. Yuri opens the door. Hello, Tormuse. Hey, you ready to go? I suppose so. It's okay to be nervous. Just remember, I'll be right next to you the entire time. Thank you. I truly appreciate everything you've done for me. My face starts to turn red. Don't mention it. Yuri locks the door and we begin our walk to Dr. Langton's office. We arrive at the psychiatrist's office. Dr. Langton is standing at the door waiting for us. Ah, right on time. It's a pleasure to meet you two again. I once again give him a firm handshake. He turns to Yuri. Hesitantly, Yuri raises a shaky hand. Dr. Langton takes hold of it. Pleasure to meet you again, miss. Shall I begin? I want Tormuse to join. Both Dr. Langton and I share looks of shock as Yuri speaks up. I would feel more comfortable if he was with us. The doctor stares at us. He ponders for a moment before deciding to speak. Very well. You two step inside my office. I think, like I'm no expert, but I think if you're, in order to, like, break the doctor confidentiality thing, you have to have permission in writing. Like, the patient has to give permission in writing to share with another person. But whatever, moving on. We follow him in. We take a seat on the couch. Well, Yuri, would you like to start by saying anything? Yuri looks over at me and we lock eyes for a few moments. Grab her hand and lightly squeeze it. I want to show you. There's something else I didn't tell you. I don't know. I would think it would be easier to talk about than show him, but whatever. Dr. Lincoln stares quizzically at Yuri, but doesn't open his mouth. She begins to roll up her sleeve. Oh no. Yuri begins to tell him everything she told me several days ago about how she used cutting as a getaway from her life, and then about how it developed into an addiction. She talks in between sobs, while Dr. Langton sits quietly, intently staring at her with a blank yet stern expression. I sit quietly as well, gripping Yuri's hand tightly as she continues her story. I find myself having to hold back tears, listen to this all over again. Eventually she finishes. This is something quite serious. Give me a moment. Dr. Langton gets up from his seat and goes to his computer. He begins typing what sounds like an email. A small piece of paper comes out of his printer. He then comes back to us. Here's a prescription for some antidepressants. Antidepressants won't hurt, but that doesn't seem like our most pressing concern. They're used to suppress. That should be, take out that R and the double P. Suppress different emotions and relax the body. It will help to suppress, that's how it's spelled, suppress certain feelings you may get. Yuri takes a slip of paper. Thank you. Is that it? After answering a few more of our questions, Dr. Langton escorts us out of his office. Thank you for coming today, and also for bringing this up to me. And Yuri, he bends down to be eye level with her. He must be pretty tall. Everything's going to be okay. He shoots her a big smile, but Yuri continues to stare at him blankly. This day may have been too much for her. Dr. Langton walks back to his office. I turn back to Yuri and can see she's visibly shaking. Look at the clock on the wall. Yuri, why don't we go somewhere to relax? We've had a pretty intense day today, wouldn't you say? Okay. Yuri and I take her leave. We find ourselves walking through a public park. I turn to her. This is nice, huh, Yuri? I will say it is nice to get some fresh air. It feels like the weight of the world has finally been lifted off my shoulders. Hey, Yuri, I know it'll be good. And what's that? Ah! I take her hand and run off into the trees. That's neat. I got a bit lost, but after a few minutes, we reached a clearing. It's been a long time since I visited this place. Here it is. I wave my hands in a theatrical display. This area brings back a lot of good memories. Sayuri and I stumbled upon this place when we were kids. There's our own secret spot where we could play. Where we would play. One time she fell in the river and I had to jump in and grab her. Parents were really mad that day. Tormes, this is breathtaking. No, you're breathtaking. Yuri stands in the clearing overlooking the water. I stare too, but not at the same view as her. To me, she's far more beautiful than the scenery. I watch as her violet hair blows in the breeze. Her eyes sparkle like stars as she stares out into the seemingly infinite landscape. She keeps a calm and content expression on her face. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me, but it seems as if a ray of sunlight is shining on her, and solely on her. A ray of light traveling thousands of miles just to reflect off her face. It makes her look as if she's glowing. That would be millions of miles. Sorry. We both stand in the clearing, lost to time. Sorry, I'm a big nerd. Taking in our respective views. I can only imagine what she's thinking. The sun hangs low in the sky. Eventually, I decide to break the silence. We should head back now. It's getting late. Yuri looks at me as I just pulled her through a portal. Perhaps as if I pulled her through a portal? Already? She looks disappointed. I notice her shivering. With the sun falling, the light breeze becomes colder and colder. Yeah, it is winter after all. Apparently. I mean, it's not necessarily. It doesn't have. I live in Canada. It doesn't necessarily have to be cold during winter. I mean, it depends where they are, I guess. Anyway, we can come back another time. I promise. Okay. Yuri softly smiles as we turn our backs to the horizon. Is there going to be a reveal later that Sayuri watched them come here or something? It's anyway, moving on. We walk back to the main pathway in silence. You know, we could have a picnic here one day. Yuri perks up. Really? Can't help but laugh at the excitement in Yuri's voice. It's probably the first time I've ever heard her sound so genuine. Of course. Set up some food, maybe some tea, a book, and we'll come when it's bright and sunny. I'd like that. I wrap my arm around Yuri. She doesn't even falter. I can feel her tense body relax as if all the moments that have led up to this have been wiped from existence. If only it was as simple as a snap to wipe half of everything out of existence. Okay, that was an Avengers reference. I quietly laughed to myself, and for a second I feel like a normal person again. Well, we're here. Thank you for walking me home, Tormes. No problem. And Natsuki said chivalry was dead. I'll be off then. Are you sure? I mean, yeah, we're not having this awkward conversation again. It sounds like she's inviting you in, MC. No? Yep, the program. You know what? I'd love to spend the night. There you go. Really? Are you surprised they want to spend a lot of time with you? No, it's just that not a lot of people enjoy spending time with me. I wrap my arm around Yuri as we walk inside. Well, Yuri, I'm not a lot of people. We walk in and I take a seat on the couch. Tormes, what are you doing? What? Yuri grabs me and yanks me off the couch. Whoa! What did I do? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It's just, I haven't showered yet. And you sat on the couch. I let a long sigh. I suppose I am pretty sweaty from all this walking. Alright. Yuri looks on with a worried expression. From the bottom of my heart, my bad. I accept your apology. Yuri gives me a soft smile. Now enough of this formality. I'll head upstairs and shower. Then we could, I don't know, read or something? That sounds lovely. I turn around and head upstairs. I only take a few steps before turning around and walking back down. Yuri? Yes, darling? Darling. I cock my head back a bit. Darling? That's new. I could get used to it, however. Anyway, I don't have a change of clothes. Oh, well, you can use mine. Excuse me? Yuri scans me head to toe. We're about the same height. It takes every inch of willpower in me not to comment on the drastic differences between mine and Yuri's thickness. What's wrong, Termes? You don't feel comfortable in wearing a kimono? My face grows hot as if Yuri has no AC in her house. No, I can wear a kimono. How did you pronounce it? Kimono. Kimono. That. Well, then in that case, they're in the middle drawer. Yuri walks away with a sense of victory in her step. Meanwhile, my face is red from ear to ear. I guess it's time to throw out my masculinity and put on women's pajamas. Not to sound mean, but I'm somewhat fortunate Yuri doesn't have many friends to tell this to. If Natsuki found out about this, I'd never live it down. I continue my trek upstairs. After my shower, I come back downstairs in a dark blue kimono. Yuri does a poor job at covering up her laughter. Yeah, get your laughs out now. I don't know about you, but I think I rock this kimono pretty well. I do a quick spin to show myself off. You do look rather dashing. Yuri is holding a tray with a teapot and 2 little cups. It appears she also got dressed in her own sleepwear. The tea must still be fresh as I can see the steam rising off. I thought we could sit down and have a cup of tea while listening to the rain. But so caught up in my appearance I didn't even realize it was now pouring outside. Oh, alright. That sounds like a good idea. Great idea. Do you mind if we go upstairs? My bedroom has a bigger window. Oh. Sure. Once in her room, I take a seat on her bed. Yuri pours us both some tea and hands me my cup. I can see where this is going. Thank you. Yuri next pulls out a book. Would you mind if we finished it? Is that a euphemism? Infinite Isolation, the book Yuri and I have experienced together for the past few months. The book with a twisted story of loss that brought us together, and now we're on the last chapter. Sure. Corners of our mouth grow. Teacups in hand, we enter our usual reading position. However, this time our bodies are even closer together. For a while, we just sit in silence, drinking, reading, and listening to the rain. We're on the last few lines of the book. We're gonna get another excerpt? Yeah. I sit down in the corner of the cell. I don't know what's worse, if I'm honest. Being surrounded by 4 concrete walls, or the fact that I'm alone. I guess she never got out of the cell then. If there's one thing that all humans share, it's a fear of loneliness. Most people can accept death. Some people aren't scared of tight spaces or spiders or the dark, but loneliness, there's nothing scarier than that. Because when you're alone, you have no one to help you overcome your fear. I look out the small window near the top of the cell. The sakura, it's blooming. It must be spring then. That means I've been in here for, I'm not sure really. How do you track time when you can't even see the sun? I look at my bandaged arm. I've watched myself fall into insanity, come out, then dive right back in. It's like a cycle. I've been here so long I can realize when I begin to lose my mind. Even my hallucinations don't want to talk to me anymore. Boom, boom, boom. Monstrous bang is heard outside my door. I scatter towards the center of the room and face it. The bang goes louder and louder, closer and closer, then stops. I stand in the center of the room, my heart pounding. The air is thick. I don't dare make a sound, for I fear breaking the fragile silence. My vision focuses on the steel door that has kept me locked away. A sound of scraping metal plays and fills the room. I shut my ears instinctively, but my eyes never leave the door. I hold my breath, and the door creaks open. Wait, what? That's it? I look at Yuri. I suppose now we wait for part 2 to come out. I let out a sigh. Fair enough. I set the book on the nightstand. I enjoyed it. Really? Yes. Thank you for sharing this book with me. Yuri turns red and tries to hide her smile. We continue to listen to the raindrops pour. Once the tea is all but gone, Yuri lets out a yawn. Tired? Mm-hmm. Yuri closes her eyes and rests her head on my shoulder. We sidle up next to each other as we listen to the outside world. The melodic symphony of raindrops continue to pound on the roof. Tormuse? Yes? This may be an odd question, but how come your parents are never home? Eh? Oh, I'm sorry if that's too personal. No, it's fine. I think it's important, you know. Has it been a month? She never asked? Never come up before? Oh. Put my arm around her and pull her close. Hmm? Ah, I can save it. Some nice artwork in this mod. Lots of CGs. The rain effect is cool too. Nice kimono. The sound of rain continues to echo throughout the room. That's a cute image. Seriously, all kidding aside. I can feel our heartbeats syncing to the rhythm of them hitting the roof. When I was a kid, maybe 10 or 11ish, my parents got hit with a bit of a financial problem. So when I saw the words, my parents got hit for a second there, I thought I was going to say something else. I was real young, so I don't really remember the specifics of it. However, I do remember my parents sitting me down and telling me they were separating. They made me choose who I wanted to live with. I know it may seem like a lot to put on a child, but they wanted to make sure they did what was best for me. That is a big decision to heap on a little kid. In the end, I chose to stay with my dad, and thus my mom left. I'm sorry. It's fine. It was a long time ago. After my mom left, she got a job in a big banking company and moved away. I was lucky enough, however, for both my parents to be civil and both still agreed to take care of me. You're very lucky to have two parents who care about you. That's what I thought as well. Eventually, my dad's business tanked, and once again, we hit a financial hole. After that, he left for the military. He left you, basically. After his business fell, he couldn't afford to raise me. With my mom a quarter across the world, she couldn't be there for me either. So the only way my dad could earn money was to join the military. They give him checks, most of which go to the house for bills and stuff. And with the money my mom gives me, I use on groceries and other commodities. That was an oddly constructed sentence. I think maybe you take out the word with, and the money my mom gives me, I use on groceries and other commodities. Okay, anyway, moving on. It's not much, but it's enough to get by without struggling. Well, physically I'm fine, but it does get lonely. Being home by yourself for months at a time. Yuri looks deeply at me. Her eyes glisten. She moves her hand and brushes her thumb along my cheek. It's only now that I realize I've been lightly crying this entire time. Yuri throws her arms around me and buries her head into my chest. Thank you. For what? For telling me your story. I relax a bit. I place my hand on Yuri and begin to lightly pat her head. Her soft breathing begins to calm my nerves. I listen to the pounding of raindrops as I close my eyes. I lean back onto the bed. Yuri and I lay resting on each other. Tormuse, can you promise me something? What is it? Whenever the sequel of the book comes out, A Psychiatrist's Guide, can we be together? I remained silent for a moment. I thought that was already implied. Well, I didn't want to assume anything. Fair enough. I began to run my fingers through her soft hair. Okay. I promise that when the book comes out, we will be together. Yuri doesn't say anything in return. Instead, she just hugs me tighter. I love you, Tormuse. I love you too. There's that word again. A word I quite don't understand the meaning of. But yet I still say it, because it's the only word that I can think of in the moment. Her soft voice bids me good night, and I slowly drift out of consciousness. Ah, okay. We're not going to have any hanky-panky after all? Well, she apparently buried her face in his bare chest, so there's that. Okay, it's been over an hour, and it's the start of a new day. I think this is a good time to end this video. Yeah, okay, things got pretty steamy in there. I thought they were going to get more steamy, and then they just got just we unlocked MC's backstory instead, and we unlocked a bit of Yuri's backstory as well. So that was cool. Um, yeah. Remains to be seen how all the other plot points are going to play out. Like Natsuki staying over at Sayori's house, and this mysterious stranger, maybe not a stranger, um, texting MC, and um, Monica being passive aggressive in the courtyard, that one scene. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Um, I I'm just gonna save it, and yeah, that's enough out of this recording. I've rambled on enough. Until next time.